Words, like sharp blades, have the unparalleled ability to pierce the heart and mind, cutting through layers of emotion and defense. Their impact is profound, shaping thoughts, altering perceptions, and even igniting conflicts. However, the true potency of words lies in their precision. When carefully chosen, they can dismantle even the fiercest aggression without the need for physical or emotional retaliation. Stoicism reminds us that the power of words should not be wielded impulsively, nor should we allow the words of others to control our inner tranquility. Instead, Stoics advocate for a deliberate and measured approach to conflict. Mastery in this realm doesn't stem from overpowering the opponent with volume or force, but from guiding them gently toward a realization of their own errors. In doing so, the Stoic transforms a hostile encounter into a moment of introspection for the aggressor. By applying wisdom over force, the Stoic turns the verbal battlefield into a place of reflection and growth, proving that the mightiest victories come from the calm, unwavering strength of reason. Let us begin. 1. Recognize hidden assumptions. The Stoic understands that aggression often masks a deeper truth. It thrives on unexamined assumptions. When someone lashes out, claiming, "You never care about anyone but yourself," they are not delivering an objective fact, but rather revealing an interpretation rooted in their emotions and incomplete perceptions. Here, the Stoic does not react defensively or counter with equal hostility. Instead, they take a different path, the path of inquiry. By asking, "What makes you believe that?" they shift the focus from the external conflict to the internal reasoning of the aggressor. This question, simple yet profound, forces the individual to confront the basis of their belief. In many cases, the assumptions fueling their anger lack substance. They are built on misinterpretations, emotional biases, or selective memory. When asked to articulate these assumptions, the aggressor often realizes their own logic is flawed or incomplete. In this way, the Stoic does not destroy their opponent's argument, but allows it to collapse under its own weight. This method not only de-escalates the conflict, but also plants the seed of self-awareness in the other person, encouraging reflection rather than fueling further aggression. 2. Escape the trap of distorted words. Words are slippery because they carry not just meanings, but the weight of emotions, assumptions, and personal biases. When an aggressive person accuses you of undermining them, they are often projecting their insecurities, reshaping your actions to fit a narrative that justifies their anger. Stoicism teaches us not to fight fire with fire, but to cool the flames with clarity. By calmly redefining the terms of their accusation, you reclaim control of the dialogue. Instead of vehemently denying their claim, which only fuels their aggression, you dissect their words with precision. This approach strips away the emotional charge and forces them to reflect on their accusation's true meaning. You're not engaging in a battle of egos. Rather, you're inviting them to see beyond their reactive lens. When their distorted interpretation fails to find support in your measured response, the hollowness of their argument becomes undeniable. This, in turn, compels them to reassess their position, often leading to the dissolution of their hostility. The power lies in your steadfastness. Their twisted words cannot harm a person grounded in truth and reason. 3. Handle the storm of questions. When aggression escalates into a barrage of relentless questioning, it often serves a single purpose: to disorient and dominate. The aggressor hurls questions not in search of clarity, but to scatter your thoughts, hoping to unearth vulnerabilities or provoke an emotional response. In such moments, the Stoic recognizes the tactic for what it is: a smokescreen of chaos, and refuses to be pulled into its frenzy. Instead of scrambling to address every accusation or inquiry, the Stoic maintains composure, discerning which question, if any, deserves a response. By calmly stating, "I will answer the question that seeks clarity, not those meant to unsettle," you expose the aggressor's tactic without escalating the conflict. This singular focus does more than provide a direct answer. It silently communicates your refusal to play by their rules. When you respond with clarity and then fall silent, you create a stark contrast between their turmoil and your serenity. This forces the aggressor to confront the futility of their storm, stripping their aggression of its power. Ultimately, in remaining focused, you shift control of the dialogue to yourself, demonstrating that true strength lies not in reacting but in choosing how and when to respond. 4. Respect the truth and avoid creating a straw man. Stoicism teaches that truth is a cornerstone of integrity and that engaging in honest discourse is a moral duty. When confronted by an adversary, it is easy to fall into the trap of misrepresenting their position, a tactic known as the straw man fallacy. This involves simplifying or distorting their argument to make it easier to dismiss, providing a hollow sense of victory. However, Stoicism warns against this approach, as it not only deepens conflict but also undermines your own moral character. True wisdom lies in addressing the strongest version of their argument, even when it poses a greater challenge. For instance, if someone accuses you of never offering support, the Stoic response isn't to defensively list examples that contradict them. Instead, acknowledge the underlying sentiment, their feeling of being unsupported. By doing so, you validate their experience and invite constructive dialogue, showing a willingness to improve. This approach shifts the interaction from a confrontational exchange to a collaborative effort toward understanding, leaving no room for hostility. Upholding the truth with humility and fairness not only resolves conflict but also fosters mutual respect and introspection, demonstrating that strength lies in honesty, not in the illusion of superiority. 5. Use visual imagery to convey a deep message. When emotions run high, logical arguments often fail to break through the thick armor of aggression. In these moments, Stoicism advises an indirect yet profound approach, the use of vivid imagery. By crafting metaphors and analogies, you speak a language that bypasses intellectual resistance and strikes at the emotional core. Consider the analogy of anger as a raging fire. It vividly captures both the intensity and the destructive aftermath of unchecked fury. This imagery doesn't accuse or confront directly. Rather, it invites the aggressor to see their behavior from a new, unguarded perspective. The power of this technique lies in its subtlety. Unlike logical rebuttals, which can be met with further defensiveness, a well-chosen image lingers in the mind, gradually encouraging introspection. It's a method that turns a heated exchange into a reflective pause, prompting them to question not just their actions, but the long-term consequences of their choices. 6. Reveal that they have already agreed with you. This technique works by unveiling a subtle truth. People often express contradictions in their emotions and thoughts during moments of intense aggression. By carefully listening, you can pinpoint these contradictions and use them to your advantage. The key is to highlight a specific instance where their actions or words already align with your position, even if it's a minor detail. When done with precision, this tactic shifts the focus from confrontation to collaboration. The aggressor, confronted with their own admission, is forced to reconcile the disparity between their claim and reality. This gentle maneuver not only diffuses their anger, but also compels them to reflect on their behavior. In realizing they've unknowingly supported your point, their indignation loses momentum, often replaced by a sense of accountability or regret. It is a masterstroke of Stoic communication, transforming conflict into a moment of shared understanding without direct confrontation. Conclusion: the silent triumph of wisdom. In the face of aggression, many seek victory through dominance, but the Stoic knows that true triumph lies in guiding others to their own understanding. These 6 verbal techniques are not weapons of war but tools of transformation. They dismantle aggression without escalating conflict, forcing the aggressor to confront their own errors and, ultimately, to regret their hostility. Remember this: the goal is not to humiliate but to enlighten. Stoicism teaches us that the greatest strength is not in crushing others, but in helping them rise above their ignorance. When you master these verbal arts, you wield not just words but wisdom, shaping conflict into an opportunity for growth.